Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes. Right next to me is Jedi Bill. And this is our review of Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. All right.
Yes.
Bill and I both saw the 7 o'clock showing in different time zones. Which
different
is why
times. Yeah.
Well,
I just literally got back from the theater.
He just literally came back from the theater, and I got out of the theater near 4 hours ago. So, all right. Now, those of you who have been following along with me tonight on this odyssey and going to see this movie knows that I already did kind of a brief, non-spoilery review because I wanted to save everything for this one and have Bill here to bounce off of. It was pretty much Bill's idea to do this to kind of team up reviews. So all right, a quick overview of the movie. This is, of course, the 7th in the series. The first one was all the way back in 1996. The Days of War, 1996. I remember that well.
Yeah.
I do remember a long time ago. There was this time. That was a long time ago. I am not old enough to have lost my memory yet. Come in. No.
Hail, Renner Blaze.
Renner Blaze in the house. Co-host of the Physical Media Show, along with Fanzine Vids and Tom Connors, Wednesday nights at 9:30. All right. Well, as I said, this is the 7th in a series of films that began in 1996, based on the television series from the late 60s and early 70s. And my mic is cracking up a bit. Uh-oh.
Yeah, just a little.
It is? Well, let me see if I can't. Maybe fix the audio a little bit here. Maybe turn it down a bit, see how that goes. It seems like when I fix one thing on StreamYard, something else goes wrong. So we'll try and get through this. All right. So, our boy Ethan Hunt, he's been through. He's had quite a life, and as we find out in this movie, maybe there's a little bit more to it than we've been led to believe. We get a little bit of backstory when it comes to Ethan. That is some stuff that we didn't know before, like perhaps he might not have always been the straight arrow that we've been led to believe that he is. But yeah, he's on a new mission. He runs into an old enemy and an old frenemy along the way.
I didn't get to ask you, Stephen, what was when you came out of the theater? Mm-hmm. How did you feel
about the film, or
about
physically?
Your feeling after we watched this film?
I'm quite ill. I pulled a muscle in my ear. No. What did I think of the film? Well, I am largely positive about the movie, and I had a couple of issues with it. Sure, it's not a perfect movie, and we're going to get into that. But on the whole, I'm recommending it.
Yeah,
I'll say that up front.
I'll say my plan. I stated this in my quick review at post viewing. I felt this movie really did step on the accelerator and really didn't let off. And I came away like, damn, I can't wait till the next one.
No, I mean, and
that was my overall feeling when I came out of the theater.
I'm the same. It is a long movie. It is 2 hours and 40 minutes, but it doesn't feel like that watching it.
It might, that's might have drug in a little bit, but then it starts. Hits the accelerator again. It's like,
no, that was the thing though. I didn't feel like it dragged.
Yeah.
In any real way. But that's kind of a nitpick with me anyway. It's like, I say about every movie, they could cut 10 minutes off of it, and because I don't even count that as being against a movie anymore. I would prefer most movies be 90 minutes to 2 hours, but if you feel you need to go a little bit longer, and I think that this series and the filmmakers who are behind it now have earned enough trust with me that I'm not concerned if the movie is a little bit longer than it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for a movie to be the 7th in a series and be this good, I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, that goes back.
Yeah.
To almost two and a half decades now that we've been watching this series.
Almost, yeah. And I think I actually said that out loud in the theater during a movie at one point. So when one character says to another, you're not the little girl that I remember, and I'm like, yeah, but that was like 30 years ago, dude. Like, oh my God, it has been that much time. And it was like, so that was a fun thing to kind of get your mind around. Kind of seeing some of these older characters come back. If it's good, I'll watch it. I watched Dances with Wolves many times. And Hello Padawannabe, Roger Ebert once said, "No good movie is too long, and no bad movie is short enough." And I tend to agree. You have a lot of movies these days that have these bloated run times, but they feel like they're 3 hours long with 75 minutes of story, and the rest is just filler. There's no filler in this movie.
No, it really isn't.
It's all plot, or it's a character beat, or it's an action sequence that pushes the plot along.
Exactly.
So I don't see any reason to really. I can't think of any scene in this movie that I would cut out.
No, but it does make you wonder. It's like, gee, what was left on the cutting room floor? What didn't make it? Because it's like, oh gosh, they cut it down to make it this much of a runtime, and it's like that makes you just wonder, what did they leave out?
Well, there was one scene where I was going, did they lose something there? Or no. But then you find out it's kind of like a head fake, where they're jumping ahead a little bit, and then you're like, oh, okay, I see what they did there.
I felt the euphoric deja vu, like it takes you back to almost the beginning where the whole movie series started. Did you have that feeling while watching this?
Well, I did, and this isn't giving anything away because everybody knows this from the trailer. Kittredge is back, who was the IMF director in the first movie, and it seems that he has been returned to that position in this movie. So it is kind of going back to the first movie, having him be, I'll say it, the same asshole he's always been.
Yeah.
And
do you trust him? Do you not trust him?
Do you not trust him?
Yeah.
And there's one scene very early on in this where you find out, and I'm not giving too much away. This is literally like the first 5 minutes of the movie. Mm-hmm. And you find out that he's pulled something potentially shady, and then you're like, God damn it, Kittredge.
Yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh. That beginning,
what he's going to do.
How did you feel about that opening sequence? Did it just like, holy cow, this is just off. I felt like it just, yeah.
It's just off and running, This is a movie. It goes from 0 to 6
right out of the gate
pretty quickly. And, and this is one of those movies that has that's like about, you're 20 minutes into the movie before they get to the opening credits kind of thing. Because this, so much is going on just in that first 20 minutes.
And can let me thank for subscribing Gregory Allgood and Tino Tabato Torino. I'm sorry. I have to work on the names. I'm bad with last names.
Tolentino?
Yeah. Thank you.
Right. And
welcome.
Thank you both for being here. And thank you for subscribing.
Yeah.
All right.
And you should definitely subscribe to Deleted Scenes also.
Yes, please do. I'm hoping my goal is to hit 500 subs by the end of the summer.
Let me get your channel so I can post it. Okay. How else did you would think about the film?
What did I think? Okay, well, where do I begin? Well, the action, of course, is very well done.
Very well. Yeah.
There's that car chase through Venice. the motorcycle stunt that we've all seen, and what brings that on is really worth the.
Oh yeah, that was nothing short of
Really
amazing.
worth the watch, and and
What do you give? How do you rate your movies? Do
how
you
do I
give
rate
it
them?
stars
Okay,
or like alphabet letters?
I go with stars usually,
Yeah.
and for those who are not aware of my my particular rating system, I actually did a video about it a while back where I was explaining it. But the short version is I do not give like perfect 5-star ratings to anything. To anything, even though there have been 2 or 3 movies in the past few years that would deserve it, but I don't give like perfect 10s or 5 out of 5s or anything like that.
Oh.
Anything that is basically what it is 4.5 stars is something that's a movie that I consider a masterpiece, worth viewing multiple times. You know, 4 stars is my worth buying on 4K at full price rating.
Yeah.
3.5
Well,
is worth seeing in theaters at full price. 3 stars is like a matinee or a rental. 2.5 is wait till you can see it for free on streaming, and basically anything below that, don't bother.
oh,
And that's kind
that's
of
a
how
fair assessment.
I go with it.
I give it. I have the star rating, and this one for me, it gets its. I give it its high top rating. I give it a full 5 stars. I mean, this movie made me so happy, and then just enjoyed it from beginning to end. And when it's like oh, it's like I gotta wait for the next one. It's like what you was like, oh, give me the next one. I just like I was coming away from the theater. It's like, oh man, it's gonna be great to see the second part.
It definitely does that. I'm not rating it as high as you are, but I am rating this for me fairly high. Right now I'm like 3.5 stars on it. It may go into a 4. I don't know. Like I said, because I did have a few nitpicks about it. Well, I mean, not nitpicks. I did have a couple of issues with it. First off, I'll go ahead.
What did you think of the new introduction of the new character? I enjoyed her and the new character, and I thought she did a really well job. I think it was on Latino Slant Channel referred the new character in this one somewhat to the character in Indiana Jones, and I'm like, I don't agree with that assessment, but that's just me. So, what do you think? You know the one I'm speaking of? The one that was really good
I think
with
I get
her
what you
hand.
mean.
Yeah.
I think I get what you mean. But well, for one thing, any comparisons between this movie and Indy 5, like down, this movie is way better. My issue with Indy 5 was that it was just like a boring nothing burger of a movie,
Mm-hmm.
and there's all this controversy over it when really, there's nothing in it to discuss. I was just more, okay, it's a movie. It happened. They did everything wrong. We get it. Move on. And with this movie's actually, well, for one thing, there's actually a plot to this movie.
Yeah.
You know?
Great story.
Nobody's sleepwalking through it. Nobody's acting like they don't want to be there.
Did you have a big audience? Was there a lot of people who went out saw this tonight?
Not as much as I was expecting, to be honest.
Yeah.
There were maybe, I would say, about 30
Oh.
in a theater that could seat probably about 100, maybe more.
Yeah, my theater capacity had 230 spots, and I think maybe 25 to 28 people filled this first early access showing, because the film still doesn't come out for like 2 more days for everybody else. So
no, Wednesday. Yeah,
I think
is the official release.
Yeah.
And, well, here's the thing. I went to my local Regal cinema, so it's also showing Indy 5, Insidious, which is doing very well right now. Sound of Freedom, of course.
Mm-hmm. I keep my printed tickets. Yeah, it's all digital. I have them on my phone, but I always get a printed ticket. So.
Right. Plus, they were also doing the Mystery Movie Monday thing.
Oh, wow!
Which was Talk to Me, the horror film. I don't know if you've seen the trailers for that or not. It's the new A24 film. Which I'm hearing, based on the reviews so far, turned out to be pretty damn good. So I'm probably going to check that out when that gets its release. But yeah, so there was a little something for everybody, and then of course there's still Elemental and Ruby Gilman for those who want to take their kids to that trek.
I kind of already, in my earlier video, I kind of self-proclaimed this as the the summer winner, because I don't know too much more that's coming out that it's going to be really spectacular. Do you think it's going to be a box office juggernaut? Giant?
Absolutely.
Win the summer?
I think it will.
Basically.
I think it'll win the summer. Well, of course, I'm curious to see what Barbie is going to do. I don't know if I'm going to go see the movie or not. Probably not. But
I don't even want to. I don't even care less about that one.
There's that. There's also Oppenheimer coming out in a couple of weeks.
I do want to see Oppenheimer.
I'm curious to see where that goes. I don't think either of them will make the money that this will make, though.
Yeah.
I think this is the movie that's going to win the summer.
Yeah. Shoot, I was going to ask you something and I forgot it. How would I do that?
Okay. Well, just to let everybody kind of in on what one of my issues about this movie is, because, and this is not necessarily a dig in the movie per se, because I'm still kind of trying to decide what I think of it. And this is a movie where the villain is an AI. Yeah. There is a human villain, and he's very good, and we're going to get to him too here in a minute. But the main villain is an AI who is kind of manipulating people into doing its bidding. Now, anybody who's been watching my channel knows that I'm a big fan of a TV show called Person of Interest. And Person of Interest was a TV show that was ultimately about these dueling AIs. One that learns to save people, and another AI that pretty much wants to do what the AI in this movie is doing. And there was a character on that show that pretty much does the bidding of one of the AIs and looks at the AI as a god. And the villain in this movie is kind of the same way. He's taking orders from an AI. And I'm like, okay, Gabriel, you're just being rude. You know,
Mm-hmm.
This is like a 3 or 4 episode arc of Person of Interest in a Mission Impossible skin suit. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But I'm just saying that, okay, McQuarrie, I know where you got this from. You know, because I've seen this before. I know. So the point is I knew how the story was going to go at a couple of points where I would rather not have figured it out that quickly.
What can I ask you? What do you think? Now, there is some humor in the film. What did you think of the humor? I thought it was subtle and perfect.
It is. You know, it's not that. It's not that over the top. Let's start joking about cancer. You know, let's have screaming goats out of nowhere. You know, like kind of a movie. Again,
I really like Simon Pegg's Benji in this. This is great job.
Yeah, he's the comic relief. You know, and yeah, and it all kind of comes out of the characters, and you know they have this. Well, what's the word I'm thinking of? They have this rapport with one another. It's almost like a shorthand at this point.
Yeah.
And you know, and even with Kittredge gets a couple of funny lines, which amazed me. And I'm like, you know,
yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, now you're going to be funny. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that was. I found that a little bit surprising.
It makes sense though at the time when you start. Oh, okay, you're the one who's going to start with the one-liners now. Okay. Where's the? Hold on. I lost my screen there for a moment. Can everybody still see and hear me? Go ahead. Let me plug this bad boy.
Well, I truly did enjoy this film, and I can't wait for the next part of it. And this is one I probably go watch a few more times. My parents are. I'm going to see my parents on Friday and Saturday, so they're coming down here. Maybe I can convince them to see it if we have time. I definitely would like to go see it again. Them.
Yeah, this is definitely one that I think will stand up to multiple viewings. I don't know if it will in the same way that Maverick does. But then again, that's kind of comparing apples to oranges. They're two completely different movies, but
yeah.
yeah. But again, like that movie's one where you get the mission right away, in the same, because the the complaint that people had between like the first Top Gun and the sequel was the mission in the end in the first movie just kind of happens. It's like, well, that's convenient, even though I think the opening sort of sets it up. But, in Maverick, it's like, okay, you get this mission right away, and, they train for it and they plan for it, and in the end, they go on a mission. And this sort of has kind of that same structure in a way of you kind of find out right at the beginning of, okay, this is the mission Ethan has to go on, and he's got to go on this thing to find this other thing. And then you find out, again, this is the first 10 minutes of the movie, so I'm not giving too much away, that Kittredge has kind of set all of this into motion.
Yeah.
And, draw Ethan out and send him out on this mission by putting someone close to him in danger. And you think he's not going to come back at you for that? Seriously, dude, do you not know who this man is by now? It's all, and all right. So in order to do this mission, Ethan and his team, of course, have to go rogue. And as they say in this movie, yeah, but he does that all the time.
Yeah, he does that all the time. Yeah.
His team's gone rogue. Okay. We know. Yeah. We've been through this before. And so there is this he literally has everyone chasing after him in this. You've got the AI pulling its shenanigans. You have the White Widow and she's back. You got her and her people.
Oh yeah.
You have this new villain, Gabriel, chasing after Ethan. You have this like other IMF team that is now after him as well, in the guise of Shea Wiggum and Greg Davis, who is Coyote in Top Gun Maverick. So he's back.
I have to say, the choreography of the fight sequences part, excellent job. The fight sequences were really good, really sensational. I'll just say it. Yeah. Sensational. What do you think?
Yeah, and you can tell it's the actors doing it through a lot of it too. Mm-hmm. The way it's shot.
Yeah.
You can tell, okay, Cruz did that.
Yeah.
Okay, Esai Morales really did that, and there was like, there was one bit in one fight scene where I went, okay, that was not her.
Yeah. Yeah.
She did not do that flip. But, other than that, yeah, the stunt work and the fight choreography in this is just fantastic. It's pretty well done.
And Cruz is like, for a guy who's actually like 7 to 8 years older than both of us, and it's like, oh my man, like him, hate him, Tom Cruise as an action star through and through. And did he come and introduce it before the film started? Him and the director? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was an excellent
That was good.
touch.
That was a
Yeah.
good thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, you're dealing with filmmakers and actors who are for once respecting the fans. They're realizing,
Oh,
hey, this is a film series that's been going on for, like we said, 25 years, almost 30
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this movie is a love letter to the people who have stuck with it from the beginning. And are some of the movies better than others? Sure. you know um some of them have not aged. I like all of them, but
Mm-hmm.
to two different extents. If somebody says to me, oh, okay, I didn't like part two, okay, I get it. you know
Nina.
and then if go ahead.
Oh, Nina doesn't like any of these at all because she was a big fan of the show. And
Uh-huh.
the reason why she doesn't like these films because uh was it Gibbs from the first one? Is that
Phelps.
his character? What?
Phelps.
Yeah, Phelps.
Yeah.
He because they totally subverted and changed it, and I never knew why she was angry and upset until
Mm.
you know till what happened to like the Luke Skywalker and Han Solo. Uh, so yeah, I get it. Some won't have like this because that sole reason. And hello, the Oliver family.
Yes, hello.
Welcome.
Good to see you.
Thank you, Oliver family. Thank you.
First time I'm seeing in the chats. Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can understand that. To name the character in the first film Phelps and then have happen to him what happens to him. I
Oh,
I look at it this way. I have to sort of separate it out. That movie Phelps is not the Phelps from the
yeah.
series,
It's
because
true.
he was such because the Peter Graves Phelps from the series was such a straight arrow, um, uh, patriotic, he would never in a million years have considered doing what the Phelps in the film does. It would never
No, yeah,
have
they're
crossed his mind.
different, two different characters
Yeah,
altogether.
two different characters altogether. So that's how you can divorce. The way they could have gotten around that was just simply renaming the character. But when you have uh, a director like Brian De Palma, who probably did not like the original series, I'm willing to bet,
Mhm.
based on what his politics are. Um, in his mind, having Phelps be the villain is probably the way he looked at the character on the show, if that makes sense. So yeah,
Mhm.
he was totally down with sort of subverting expectations, as they say.
Yeah.
But yeah, and there is. So if somebody says that they were out of the series after the first movie because of that, perfectly fine. But if you can divorce the fact that they're not, I look at it as they're not the same character, so I can move on from there. I did have an issue in this movie, but there's something that I felt was a retcon. And that's we find out in a flashback that in a brief flashback, which we're probably going to see more of, and which they're probably going to fill in part 2. We find out that Ethan was probably not exactly a straight arrow Mr. Clean type either in his younger years. And the implication is that people who are recruited into IMF were maybe bad guys in the past. And that I didn't particularly care for. And again, maybe this is going to be stuff that's going to get explained away in the next movie, but it's like, because you just assume that, okay, these guys are they're all CIA, they're all spies, whatnot. But now they're making it out like, okay, no, all of these guys are criminals and we reform them. And I'm like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
Benji's like a computer geek, Well,
Benji and Luther.
Was Maggie Q a villain? Was Carrie Russell a villain? Was Jonathan Rhys Meyers a villain? What? Because it kind of gets played up like it's this island of misfit toys or something all of a sudden, and I'm like, nothing in the previous movies implied that. We're it's this choice: either you join us or we disappear you. And I'm like, I don't like the idea of that. And maybe that's something again that will be explained in the next movie. I'm just saying it's a retcon that I didn't like. Or maybe I'm just reading too much into it, but that's one thing that's in the movie that I didn't care for. I don't know what you thought of that, Bill, but
Easily overlooked. That's why I enjoy going back to watch these films like this again. It's like, what did I miss the first time that I didn't quite catch, or like, what Easter eggs can I find that I didn't see the first time I watched it?
Yeah. And no, there are Easter eggs in this. They don't hit you over the head with them.
No.
It's not done. They're not member berries. Everything that's in there is in there for a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
They're not like, hey, remember this from the first movie? See? No.
Yeah.
They do it as like, okay, they're making this reference as an extension of what you are now seeing in front of you right now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I didn't mind. I didn't mind that at all. But like I said, my two main sticking points is this potential retcon of Ethan's character and how people get recruited into the IMF. And like I said, the part of the storyline that I believe they ripped off pretty much whole cloth from Person of Interest, but that's just kind of more me. But those were kind of like my two main issues with it. And this was, and don't get me wrong, all right, this it didn't ruin the movie at all for me. I this is still one of the better movies of the year. I think people should go out and see it. Go see it in theaters.
Yeah,
Go
definitely.
see it multiple times.
Go.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's a good movie. It's good characters. It's a good story.
Definitely
definitely
one of the better ones
really
of the year.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Let's see. I think we're getting what, Dune in November.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this, I think we're not getting Afterlife 2, Ghostbusters Afterlife 2 around Christmas
we're getting
time.
that around Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Interesting. Interesting how the rest of the year is going to be up. But right now, for the summer, I think there's not a whole lot that's going to be too good out there. I mean, there are few ones that, maybe just a few.
There may be a few. I put out a most anticipated movies of 2023 video out back at the beginning of the year. And I've yet to see 7 out of those 10 movies. So I still have a little ways to go yet. But
yeah,
there's still Equalizer 3, Expendables 4, just because it is what it is.
Wait, we're not supposed to get that this year, are we?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
September.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Last Voyage of the Demeter. Oh.
Yeah, that's one of my kitty cats.
You're a kitty.
Yeah, that's that would be Sapphire. I think that's Sapphire.
All right on. Hello, Sapphire.
At least I think it is.
Yeah.
Can't tell right now. Let me see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a little Sapphire. She's playing games. She likes to bring little toys from the bathroom out. Yeah.
So what did you think of the villain of Gabriel? What did you think of him?
He was very good, and I recognize him from an early 70s or 80s. It was 80s. He played the villain in this was the villain in a movie called Bad Boys, not the other Bad Boys movie with Sean Penn. Is the villain in it. The villain from the Bad Boys with Sean Penn is the villain in this one.
Yes, he is.
Excellent job.
And of course, we are talking about Esai Morales. It's also in La Bamba. Oh God, I saw it the other.
That's right. He played Richie's brother.
He was in. It was Richie's brother. Yeah.
I forgot.
Oh God, what was that? I'm trying to remember the name of the movie I just saw him in. The Mi Familia. He's in that. Great movie.
Uh-huh.
Of course, NYPD Blue, Ozark, among many other film and television appearances. And we find out that he is kind of a foe from Ethan's now somewhat shady past. So that's how they know each other. And he is basically this. He's basically the human embodiment of this AI, and he's taking orders from this machine, and yeah, he's quite formidable, and
Mm-hmm.
and pretty well written too, and
We're gonna have to follow this up when we can do a spoiler.
oh, we're
Do
definitely
you
going to have to
do you
do a
want to do the
spoiler at some
spoiler when we
point.
can? Yeah,
Oh,
give
for sure,
people enough
yeah,
time to get out there and see this film because
because
they
we
definitely should. Definitely should.
we are holding back because we don't want to. We, as Bill has said in the chat, we're trying our best not to give this movie away, and we're,
Yeah.
and we are holding back right now. We want to
Yeah.
go into detail, but we really don't want to do that too much. And hello to Carlo Albanese.
Carla
Good to see you.
Albanese.
Was
Well, what?
enjoyable, very much so. Yes.
Very. Yeah.
Yes, we're recommending this one.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Right.
definitely going to have to do a non spoiler review at some point. But
Yeah.
yeah, well, I mean, we're doing the non spoiler now. We're going to have to do a spoiler review
Yeah.
sometime down the line. But but Gabriel, the new villain, Esai Morales, he's great. He has a sidekick who is his French assassin. Assassin? How I turned into Connery. Okay, hold on. Assassin. She's got a license to kill McGee. Anyway, so he has a French assassin, um, uh, Palm Clementif, who is Amanthus in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Plays a character named Paris, who's kind of a French Harley Quinn in a way. Kind of the way they have her made up in some scenes, but it was a little weird, but I'm fine with it. But that's something that this movie is really good at.
Yep.
The whole strong female character, person, woman of the movie kind of thing. This movie has 5 of them,
Oh
and
yeah. And they're badass. That's all I gotta
but
say. Some badass,
but
positive
but but
female
without calling
characters.
attention to the fact that they are badass. They don't stop the movie for 10 minutes to explain that they're badass. You know, they just kind of are all by themselves, and it's realistic. They mess up, they get their asses kicked, but they can come back. And but yeah, you get Hayley Atwell in this movie as a new character, Grace. She steals the movie, I
Oh
think.
yeah.
And Elsa's back, the widow's back. Who's the daughter of Max from the first movie, and
Mm-hmm.
let me see, what was the question? Was the Mission Impossible or Mission Difficult? Because that would be a walk in the park. Yeah.
Wow.
Definitely difficult.
Mm-hmm.
There are a couple of close shaves in this,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, and
Oh yeah.
of course, since it is part one, that they're all going to pretty much get out of it. But I don't know about the sequel. I I I I kind of got the feeling before this is over we might actually lose a couple of characters that we've come to care about. But
Yeah, I was worried about that.
yeah, and but yeah, we again, and that's the thing that really worried me was.
Were you
Just
wondering where Jeremy Renner's character was in this?
No, actually, I didn't. He didn't really cross my mind because
Yeah.
well, not only is he not in this, Angela Bassett isn't in this either.
Yeah.
But and she was kind of left at the end of the previous movie as well.
Yeah.
And it was sort of implied that maybe she was going to be running the IMF at the end of the previous movie. But we do get a bit of a clue as to where her character might have ended up, because there's kind of an Easter egg in the first 10 minutes of the movie, and I don't know how many people caught it, but there's an implication that she's maybe gone off to quote unquote a higher office. Let me put it that way. And what's above being the director of the IMF? I'll leave that question dangling out there for everyone to ponder. But yeah. So I get the idea that, because I don't know if I don't know if they filmed any part of part 2 yet. I don't know if he's going to be involved. I don't know what his what he had filmed before his accident.
Yeah, this one was also delayed by the COVID, right?
Yeah, as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, there were, there are a number of factors there. You know, and again, like I said, this is the first of what's meant to be a 2-part film. So we might get him back, or at least some explanation as to where his character is. I'm sure we're going. If I'm right about where Angela Bassett's character ended up, I'm pretty certain we're going to be seeing her in the next one. Carla was asking in the chat, does it end on a cliffhanger? Not per se. I don't want to go too deep into the ending until we do a spoiler review. Where it ends is a good ending.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll say that. I agree.
I'll just put it that way. So I mean, it doesn't end in the middle of a scene or anything, but like a couple of other movies that I understand do kind of do that.
It leaves you wanting to ask a lot of questions, but the right questions. It's like, and it's like, oh man, it's like, I walked away with I literally had a smile from cheek to cheek, and I was like, this I had fun. I had a fun time with this film through and through.
Mm-hmm.
It for the runtime, it didn't drag on at all.
Yeah.
I thought it was well done, and
Yeah.
I like I said, I already give it my highest rating a film can get. Yeah, Carlo, I give it a 5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah. He gave it a 5
Top.
out of 5.
Highest. So for me,
I'm going a little under that for right now, but like I said, I did have a couple of issues, but then again, those are issues that could get cleared up with the next movie. Um, but yeah, I'm. Don't get me wrong. I am. I'm not hacking on this movie. I am recommending it. Go see it. See it as many times as possible. If everybody who last year went out and saw Top Gun 12 times, go see this.
yeah,
You'll like it.
it is fun film.
It's a fun one. It's got some of the same actors, a lot of the same people behind the scenes, but
my parents are coming out this weekend. If I can convince them to go see it with me again, well, I'll see it again. They'll see it for the first time. I'd love to watch their reaction when they see good movies. So, and I haven't been to the film with them in a long time, so hopefully, possibly we can do that. So I might see it again this weekend with my parents. So that's cool. I look forward to the opportunity of that.
and anybody who has maybe not been a fan of these movies necessarily, or maybe if you haven't seen it since the first one, go check it out. Go see it. Go.
Yeah.
Give it a try, because I don't. That's one of the cool things about it is I don't think you're going to be lost if you haven't seen any one of the prior movies, because really at this point, I think if you've pretty much seen from part 4 on, you're okay. Because I think the movies from part 4 on to now kind of connect together a little better. But then again, you do in this movie get references to the original film. So it's almost like forget 2 and 3 happened in a way.
Yeah.
But
I like 2.
I like 2, but I liked part 2, but it has become like the bastard stepchild of the series for some reason. But
I don't like 2. I really enjoyed 2.
Like it.
I have a problem with part 3. I have a problem with part 3. It's like in the Indiana Jones series. There's 3 films, right? There's 3 films real for hardcore. I don't understand why people don't like the Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. That's one of my favorite ones out of them. Out of them all.
Yeah, Temple of Doom's fine. There's nothing wrong with that movie at all. Like I said, I don't hate any of these movies. Yeah. But what did I do? Hold on.
What did you do?
You pushed the wrong button.
Oh no!
I suck as a producer.
Don't hit the wrong button.
Don't deny the aliens. Well, I got to tell you, man, after part 5, Crystal Skull is Citizen Kane compared to part 5, man. Serious.
Yeah, really.
5 needed
We
aliens.
can agree on that.
And not that I have the hate boner for Crystal Skull that everybody else does. I think it's a watchable, entertaining movie, but I get why people don't like it. But still, compared to this, because Indy 5, going back to Indy 5 for a second. Oh my God, why do we keep going back to Indy 5? You have to go back to Indy 5 for a minute.
It should be dead and buried, but it is dead and buried.
It's product shat out by a studio who thought we were going to eat it up and clap like seals just because it has Indiana Jones stamped on it. This is, and with Mission Impossible, this is a film series that is now 7 films in, and I think every single one of them are worth seeing. I have the fridge ready for the nuclear war, so I'm safe. Yeah. And yeah, I can understand that. All right, so yeah, for the most part, final score is we both like this movie. We're both recommending it. We both think it stands up to multiple viewings. Great villain. You've got 5 smoking hot women in it. Not to put too fine a point on it.
Yeah.
You will be in love with one or all of them by the end of the movie. The action is great. The villain is one of the best in the series. Ethan is Ethan. Kittredge is still Kittredge. So yeah, this is a fun one, guys. Go and check it out. And once this movie's been out a little while longer, we'll come back and we'll do like a full spoiler review and talk about it and kind of break it down. There are a lot of things that we would like to say, in this broadcast that we can't right now because we do not want to give the movie away.
We're
trying
best non-spoiler.
This is a spoiler. There's only been this one showing to the public. So we're going to wait until maybe we're going to wait later on, and then we'll do a spoiler review on it. But,
definitely.
But yeah, and Carlo is saying in the chat, agreed, love them all. MI has to be one of the most consistent film series. Yeah, I agree. All right. Any last words, Bill?
Definitely. If you have a chance to get out and see it this week and this weekend, the film opens up on Wednesday, and you go see it. Go have a look at it and enjoy, because it buckle up for a roller coaster ride, because it's clearly what you get here.
Indeed. And hello, Take Shelter. Thank you for being here. We'll wrap it up. If Mr. Rest of the show, go back watch the replay. She said Spider-Man was great. Yeah, I'm hearing people are really enjoying that and stuff. I haven't had a chance to give that one a look yet. See.
Yeah.
But yeah, we both dug this one, and we're going to do a spoiler review later on, so stay tuned for that.
Yep. Stay tuned.
Right. So, all right, from HQ. Oh, wait, no. Before I do that, I want to thank everybody who was in the chat.
Thank you. Thank you.
Runner Blaze. We had Gregory Allgood, Tino Tolentino, the Oliver family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. New subscribers.
New
Carlo
subscribers.
Albanese. And Take Shelter. And I know we had a couple of people who were kind of lurking in the background. So
the Oliver family. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right now.
And enjoy the replay if you're just catching. Yeah. We're like there's a whole bunch of things that I just was holding my tongue because like if I say it, it's gonna spoil it, and then so it's been very hard not to because anyway,
because there's
go enjoy the film.
We could definitely have gone on for another hour about this if we really could, but we want to hold back. We know not everybody has seen this yet. Once they do, then we are going to come back and we're going to do a full spoiler review, and we're just going to go into everything that happens because we have barely scratched the surface here, and there's much to unpack and talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely so. So I want to thank everybody for being here, everybody who is in the chat, everybody lurking in the background. If you are new to my channel or to Bill's, please subscribe, hit the like, say hello in the comments. Have you seen the movie yet?
Please leave comments.
What did you think? All that good stuff. All righty. I'm going to wrap it up. From HQ, take care. Stay strong, because this is how we win.
Be excellent to each other.